Hi everybody, it's Matricity. Welcome to my Matrix. It's Festivus, so happy Festivus everyone. And you know the Christmas holidays are right around the corner. This is actually Christmas Eve Eve. All right, so today is the day when people are probably panicking and shopping, but I'm not. I'm good. I just wanted to share a little bit of Christmas cheer with you. This is from a while ago when my daughter was little. I know she gets tired of me telling this story, but I don't. It's about Christmas magic and what Christmas is all about, the kids, and making it fun for them. But before I start, please do me a favor. Please like and subscribe. I would certainly appreciate it. And any feedback you want to give me, please feel free to leave me a comment. I would certainly appreciate it. Well, this story dates back to when my daughter was in the 3rd grade. And she still believed in Santa up until then. And I think still probably a little bit after then. But her school friends, oh my gosh, they were trying to burst the Santa bubble. They told her that Santa wasn't real and that the parents were really the ones who brought the gifts. Well, I didn't find this out until, it was December, and I asked her if she's going to write a letter to Santa, and she said no, because her classmates had told her that Santa wasn't real. I was devastated. Oh my gosh, I told her, as long as you believe, he will come. So I kind of checked, maybe a week later and asked her, are you going to write that letter? Because I needed to know what she wanted. And she says, no, Mommy, no letter because it's the parents. Santa isn't real. Okay, what was I going to do? I told her again, he will come as long as you believe. So then I had to pay attention. I began to watch her when she was watching television, when the ads would come on for things that she might want, to try to figure out what the heck she wanted. So I listened and I watched and I figured out what she wanted. So then I began to shop. So I shopped here and there. When I realized she wanted something, I'd run out and get that there. And so by mid-December, I had pretty much everything that I knew she wanted bought. I had it stored away in the trunk of my car. I had it underneath the bed. I had it in a closet. So she was good. So even if I missed something on the list, I had the majority of what I think she wanted without a list. So then it was just a matter of waiting. I decided no matter what, I was still going to do the same thing that I'd done every year for her, which was address the gift tags, the majority of the things coming from Santa, and I would always disguise the handwriting and use a separate tag for Santa, and then the mommy gifts always were in a different tag, not the Santa tags, but a different tag. So there was a clear distinction, and she could figure out what was hers from me and what came from Santa. And I used different inks, different handwriting to disguise it, so it all worked out. So, jump ahead, and I guess she figured that if the parents really bought the gifts, I would be taking her shopping. I didn't do that because I bought everything and hid it away. Santa was coming again that year. Even though she didn't believe, I was still going to make Santa come because I was still trying to work that mommy magic for Christmas. Okay, so it's Christmas Eve, and as I said, I am still trying to make Christmas magic happen for my child. So, that week, we had gone shopping for other family members. My brother, my mom, nieces and nephews. We had gotten them something, but I did not take my daughter shopping. So I guess this was still in the back of her mind. So we'd actually gone to the mall Christmas Eve, and we'd done some mad last minute shopping, I think, for my mother. I don't know, for somebody. Well, anyway, we didn't do any shopping for her. And I think she assumed that because her friends told her that the parents bought Christmas, I would be taking her shopping, which I did not do. So it is now 6 o'clock. We're leaving the mall. We get in the car and we're going to go home. I think we'd made one stop right before going home. So by 6:15, we're traveling down Highway 61 on our way home. And all of a sudden, my daughter begins to cry and cry and cry like the world is coming to an end. We're talking crying so hard, and I had no idea what was wrong. I had to pull over because I started crying because she was crying just that hard, and I didn't know what was wrong. So I pull over into the first parking lot I come to. And this is where the old Winn-Dixie used to be on Highway 61. And in that lot today, and at that time too, there was some sort of gym and there was a post office. The post office has always been there, a small one. And of course, with the post office, the outside door is always open because people have post office boxes. So even though the post office was closed, the outside door always open for people to get in. I didn't realize at the time. I just pulled over because I had to find out what was wrong with my child. So I'm talking to her and trying to find out what's wrong. Why is she crying so hard? And she tells me through tears and sobbing, like, oh my gosh, that she didn't write a list. And because she didn't write that list, there was going to be no presents for her. Oh my goodness, what was I going to do? How was I going to make that right? So I look around and I see the post office and I think quickly, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I think, oh, FedEx! That's the key. So I instantly tell my daughter that everything's going to be fine, that in a Christmas emergency, moms have a way that we can contact Santa if there is an emergency. We can only use that magic one time, and this was that one time. So I tell her that if she writes a list right now, I will be able to go into the post office and fill out a FedEx envelope and FedEx it to him, and he will actually have her list in 20 minutes, and all will be well. So I rummaged through the glove compartment, pull out a rumpled up envelope, straighten it out, give it to her with a pen, and I said, please write your list right now. So she's still crying. I mean, we're talking hard crying, snot everywhere, hitching of the voice, hitching of the voice. She's crying so hard. She writes the list. And as she writes the list, I see many of the things that I have already secretly bought for her. Mommies can do nothing wrong. So she writes the list. I take the list and I had pulled over to the far end of the lot. So that this time I took the list and, I drove the car right up to the door because I was gonna have to leave it for a few minutes. So I drive the car right up to the door of the post office and I tell her just to hold on right here. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna fill out the FedEx form for her and I'm gonna FedEx it to Santa. So I take the list, go inside the post office, stuff her list in my bra. The place where people keep money, all kinds of things. The list goes into my bra. And I fill out a FedEx envelope addressed to Santa at the North Pole from her. So I, take the little, the FedEx slip apart and I have the copy that we're supposed to keep as the customer. So I hold it for a second. I was probably all gone for like maybe no more than 5 minutes. So I go out to the car, I give her the list and I say, daughter of mine, everything's going to be fine. I've just FedExed this list to Santa and this is your receipt, so please keep it. This is a receipt proving that we sent it to Santa. He's going to have your list in 20 minutes. She's still crying like the world's going to an end. We get home. She's still crying, but she does not let go of that list. Not the list, but the FedEx slip. She holds on to that slip for the remainder of the night. It never, ever leaves her hands. Even when she goes to bed and she's sleeping, that list is in her hands. She's clutching it to her chest. So, about an hour after we're home, the crying finally stops, but she's holding the list. And I ask her, I says, well, the things that we normally do on Christmas Eve, do you still want to do those things? We leave the cookies out for him and the milk and the whole 9 yards. She says, yes, I want to do all those things. So, we're able to do all the things we normally do. We leave the cookies and the milk out for him. And we also, we usually, watch television and on the computer, how they track Santa by radar. We did all of that too. And just before she goes to bed, we always spend about 20 minutes at her window every single year. And we're actually looking into the dark sky, the night sky, and we crack the window, depending on how cold it is, and we listen for sleigh bells in the distance. That's a tradition we've done every single year since as long as I can remember. So we did all of those things. She went to bed, still clutching the FedEx list. And of course, that night, the fat man came. Santa came with all of her gifts. And that year, normally I would be up before her because I would have stayed up all night, if I had any last minute wrapping to do and putting things under the tree. But that year, I let her get up first. Normally, she would wait. But that year, I think she was so excited because of what her friends told her in school that she wanted to see. So I heard her sneaking downstairs, downstairs to look at the tree, and sure enough, all the things are there that she wanted. Oh my gosh, it makes me a little bit teary, just remembering that, because I was able to work my mommy magic for her one more year with Santa. And so she came upstairs, went back to her room, and I waited like maybe another 15-20 minutes, and then I got up, and then she got up and ran downstairs, and mommy, everything is here, Santa came. I was like, yay! So it was a grand Christmas for her that year. Mommy magic saved the day. And as a mom, you know that your mommy magic when it comes to things like that, the fantasy world, the Christmases, the the leprechauns, the Tinkerbell in the closet, all of those things will eventually come to a close once they get old enough. But that year, I was able to have it one more year, which made it one of the best Christmases ever. So that's a story that I never have a problem telling anyone. I'll never stop telling that story. Of course, she probably wants me to, but it was one of the best Christmases ever. And my Christmases weren't always the great Christmases. So when I had a child, one of the things I wanted to do, and I promised myself that her Christmases would be magical. And they all were. Her birthdays are magical. Christmases were magical. Every holiday, even Halloween, was magical. So I feel like I've done my due diligence as a mom to make her Christmases the best they could be. They were magical. Santa always came. Santa brought her the things that she wanted, and everything was great. So I hope that you are going to have a magical Christmas this year, whether you are a child or doing something for your child or your grandchild, or just for yourself. Do something for you. Make magic happen for yourself. And the magic is always there. We just got to take, as adults, we get tied up with adulting, problems, day-to-day living, work, all of those things. But still, take time, find a little magic just for you, because you're worth it. And I hope you have a great holiday season. Again, as I said earlier, today is actually Festivus, so happy Festivus. It is Christmas Eve's Eve, so happy Christmas, and I hope your holiday is great, and I will be talking with you very soon. So see you later, alligator. Bye!